Good morning.
I'm Bridget.
And I'm Wendy.
And this is
Flickin' Beans. How you doing?
I'm doing great.
Good.
What's up with you?
You know, sun is shining.
Yeah.
It's kind of cold, but
we've
had a few
cold.
nice days, so I'm in a better mood.
How do you go from 75 degrees to a blizzard coming?
Yeah.
Fucking Iowa, man. That's nuts.
Yeah, that day that we had the rain and the storms, it was like 75 in the morning and 20 at night.
That's bullshit.
It just went like, and you could feel the temperature, like it made my ears pop.
Oh.
When the storm came. Yeah.
Whoa. Okay, we have a treat.
A treat.
It's sort of a treat.
Yeah.
This week's movie.
Reefer Madness.
And I had never seen it. And Reefer Madness, the musical. Which you pointed out. And oh my God.
Yeah. So if you're not familiar, Reefer Madness is a very serious actual movie that's not supposed to be funny. It's supposed to be propaganda against marijuana.
Right.
But it's so ridiculous that it's funny. An example of that is it starts with this very long rolling monologue, sort of like in Star Wars where it has the words too.
Not at all like Star Wars, but I get ya.
I'm just, scrolling
Star
words.
Wars at least had vanishing perspective.
True, this is just scrolling down.
It looks so old-timey.
Well, it was made in 1939.
I know, right?
Yeah. Although, but wasn't Freaks around them too, and it was such a better movie.
Yeah, right? That's funny. Good observation.
So this is the opening credits, and this will give you a really good idea of how they've twisted what marijuana actually does and how false a lot of this is. The motion picture you are about to witness may startle you. It would not have been possible otherwise to sufficiently emphasize the frightful toll of the new drug menace, which is destroying the youth of America in alarmingly increasing numbers. Marijuana, spelled with a H instead of a J, is that drug, a violent narcotic, an unspeakable scourge. The real public enemy number one. That's in caps. The first effect is sudden, violent, uncontrollable laughter. Then comes dangerous hallucinations. Space expands. Time slows down, almost stands still. Fixed ideas come next, conjuring up monstrous extravagances, followed by emotional disturbances, the total inability to direct thoughts, the loss of all power to resist physical emotions, leading finally to acts of shocking violence, ending often in incurable insanity. In this picture, its sound-destroying effects, no attempt was made to equivocate. The Reefer Madness 1936 movie, while fictionalized for the purposes of this story, are based upon actual research into the results of marijuana addiction.
Sure.
Right. If their stark reality will make you aware that something must be done to wipe out this ghastly menace, then the picture will not have failed in its purpose. Because the dread marijuana may be reaching forth next for your son or daughter, or yours.
That is so crazy. And they almost just could have put that out as a pamphlet.
Yeah.
And not made the movie.
Right. It probably would accompanied it.
But then we wouldn't have gotten to see all the zombie crazed, lunatic, pot smokers.
Right. Well, is uncontrollable laughter a bad thing?
Did it say also violent?
Yeah.
What is that? That's like that crazy guy.
Yeah.
In the house, whatever his name was.
The one that, they make a lot of the characters seem more like they're on something like speed. It makes them very like hyper and horny and violent.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's not really what weed does.
That is not at all what weed does.
Those are the other drugs.
I would say some of it is just like being drunk.
Oh, yeah.
That you can get violent.
Sure, yeah.
Or some kind of PCP it was so dumb and for them to say it's based on research is baloney.
Right. And the instant addiction to it is funny. I mean, I'm not saying you can't be addicted to weed because I think you can.
I don't think
anything
so.
else.
I don't think so.
Like gambling or anything else. I think you can be. No?
No, I don't think so because you're not dying for it.
Some people, I'm just saying you could be. But it's not physically addicting.
No.
To the point of like you try it one time and then you needed more of it.
No. And then you're going to steal things
right.
and steal from a church. That's the first place they go. What? And then Jesus sings to him. Oh, I'm sorry. That's in the
musical.
Oh.
We can kind of skip over the actual Reefer Madness because it's a stupid movie.
Yeah.
It's funny. You've probably seen parts of it put onto another movie, like especially the I would call the dance scene where they're partying and smoking and playing piano like crazy people. You've probably seen that before, but yeah, it's basically all this stuff. But then they took that, and this movie is in the public domain now, so you can do what you want with it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's
interesting.
That's what I found out when I was looking for the script.
Back to on the original movie when they're in the drug den, which is a husband and wife, and they seem to be trying to recruit buyers.
Yeah, that part's weird. They go out to like places that teenagers hang out because they want to recruit potheads.
Yeah. Which apparently it's so addictive it isn't hard. And the thing that made me laugh the most was how many joints they had at this party. And no, that's not how it works. You don't give everyone a giant joint and you pass it.
Right.
And one is good.
Yeah. Smoking a whole joint by yourself is a lot.
Right.
Yeah.
Nobody does that except maybe Cheech and Chong.
Except maybe people like Wiz Khalifa and Snoop Dogg.
Oh, yeah.
They smoke just all day long. But
oh, yeah. So do I.
Not me. I can't. My throat can't handle that.
Yeah, that's the only. I chuckled at that. And what did they call them? Reefer sticks?
But I do know that they called them cigarettes a lot because they were trying to get people to just smoke a cigarette.
Yeah.
A harmless cigarette.
Right. That's
which we all know that's not harmless either.
And that's just not how it works.
Right.
Come on, guys. But if you're trying to scare parents, it's a good tactic.
Yeah, the whole thing is it's just so obvious.
Yeah.
That it's wrong and exaggerated, that it's comical.
Right.
But if you didn't know, because like a lot of parents at that time didn't know. They weren't seeing that in their world. So they're like, oh, this is scary. But yeah, they do that with lots of stuff.
And do you remember Crybaby?
Yeah.
There were goody goodies, and almost all the kids were goody goodies. Yeah. And if you weren't, you were drug crazed.
Right. Yeah.
Or a criminal.
Yeah, there is either or.
You had to be.
You can't mix.
A or B.
Right.
Yeah, so the musical was amazing.
Yeah, much, much better. And it really did have basically the same storyline.
Right.
It's just they exaggerate it even more.
They really leaned into the comedy that we see on that original movie. And the songs are amazing and hilarious. And all their references, and I was just like, I can't keep up with everything that's funny.
It was funny, the poor guy that kept speaking up in the classroom. Because in the musical, it's like a movie in a movie.
Right. Because
this guy is...
Alan Cumming. Yeah. He's so great.
He plays like everything in it, in the musical. And he is out there like doing the whole Music Man thing, like, there's trouble.
Yeah.
With the telling it to teachers and they're watching the Reefer Madness. One of the parents keeps going, I don't think it's that bad. Wife's sister, somebody was hooked on heroin, and I think that's way worse.
Right.
And they're like, no way. Are you sure she wasn't doing marijuana?
Come on. That's just like how you used to hear that marijuana has a sweet smell. It doesn't, but that's the incense.
Yeah.
That's Nag Champa that has a sweet smell.
Right. That's the candles everybody's lighting.
Right?
to cover up the smell. There's a little cartoon that's been going around that's sort of like a Far Side. I don't know. It's two people walking and they are saying, it smells like someone's smoking pot. Or there's a skunk. And then there's a skunk sitting there smoking pot.
Oh my God. You know what I saw in the news this morning? A gorilla in the zoo. Somebody threw in a lit cigarette, picks it up, sits down, smokes the whole thing.
Wow.
And then crushes it out. Just like...
He's seen this a million times.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
They're going to beef up security. Man, I would have liked to see that in real life.
Yeah, there's been like performing chimps, right, that smoked.
Sure.
Yeah, it's weird. They're so much more like us than we even
Oh my
can
God,
realize.
chimps are terrifying. They must be on the reefer because they can go nutso and be very violent.
Maybe they need the reefer.
Maybe. Catnip for, it's catnip for humans.
It is. Yeah.
It's true, because when you give the cat catnip, maybe they get a little revved up, but then they calm down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They get revved up while they're doing it.
It's just like laughing. Oh my gosh.
Then take a nap.
So, okay, the cast.
Yes.
We already said Alan Cumming.
Uh-huh.
We've got Kristen Bell,
Yeah.
who we know is an amazing singer. And we've got Anna Gasteyer as the wife in the drug den. And she's being abused by her husband and sings a whole song about the stuff. Basically, like, he's supplying her with reefer sticks, so she's going to stay with him.
Yeah, I had no idea how good of a singer she was. She's known for being a comedic actress.
Right.
You know, she's on SNL and all that, but I didn't realize that she could sing like that. She's amazing.
Great.
I ought to leave him, but something makes me stay. It's the stuff. I try to kill him, but my guy gives me love and the stuff. Sometimes he's rough, he throws me down the stairs, but deep inside he cares. He buys me lingerie and stuff.
Yeah. And I didn't realize that Neve Campbell could sing and dance.
Yeah, she's like the waitress in the soda shop, right?
I was like, what's she doing these days?
Yeah, she had a moment when she did Scream and I Know What You Did Last Summer. She had like a little...
Was she in Party of Five too? Oh, you've
maybe.
never seen that?
I've never seen it. But maybe, yeah. She's a big deal around the millennium.
Yeah. I love that five and dime dancing scene.
Yeah.
Kristen Bell's boyfriend, at one point he says, "You sure shake a wicked calf."
Yeah.
There's a lot of really goofy, old-timey phrases.
Yeah.
Those were fun. And Kristen Bell's hair, or wig.
Yeah, definitely.
All those little fluffy ringlets. She was just the perfect little good girl.
Yeah, she plays that role really well.
But then when she takes one drag off marijuana, she becomes like a dominatrix. And what? I want to be a dirty girl.
Yeah, all of a sudden she has all these kinks.
Yes. And she's trying to make it with that gross, crazy guy.
Yeah.
At
least in Reefer Madness, the guy that tries to like rapey her is cute. In the original Reefer Madness, there's like a good-looking guy and the crazy-haired piano guy who's not as attractive. But in this, they kind of merge those two together. He's the one that like tries to get with her on the couch and gets her to smoke. But you don't really need both those characters because that's really all he does. So it was easy to combine them.
And in the original movie, the depraved youth who smoke the reefer sticks are literally like zombies, like Walking Dead.
Literally, yeah.
Like their faces are falling off, and it's like, okay. Okay.
Yeah, that really is an exaggeration of how they were making them look in the originals. Like, oh yeah, they're just going to turn full zombie on you.
They kind of did, because they killed Anna and just descended on her just like Walking Dead.
Yep.
It was so funny. And can we talk about the munchies?
Yes.
It's not like that. It's not like that. And that was in Cheech and Chong too.
Yeah.
When the cops accidentally got high.
Yeah. And they're all of a sudden hungry.
I want a sundae. I want a hamburger now and brownies and everything. Wait, this takes me back to Goonies.
Okay.
From last week, where they see those two men that the Fratellis killed going into that building. And they said, maybe they're drug dealers. And the other one said, no, drug dealers wouldn't wear that shitty polyester.
Yeah.
And the drug dealer in this one is wearing like a pinstriped suit. It's like, no. And also, no one's going out on the street trying to get you to use marijuana.
No, it sells itself.
It does. It does.
They took with more addictive drug. You give somebody a little test,
Crack cocaine.
but that kind of sells itself too, honestly, I think.
They literally had the weed patch right in their backyard. They were in town.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, okay.
That's a dream of mine someday.
Oh, there are places you can do it.
I know. It smells amazing. Like, have you ever been to a dispensary where they have all the plants in one room? Or like a farm?
Farm.
Yeah, you walk in and it smells like marijuana, but like nicer.
How about the other gal that has the baby?
Oh, God, yeah.
She could care less about the baby. Well, besides putting it on a lit stove and burning the bassinet. Oh, baby's fine.
Yeah.
Later, she sells it
Yeah.
for weed money.
The baby dies in the original one, right? From neglect or something?
Oh, probably.
Yeah. So that was also a big stretch.
Right. No. No.
I would argue that marijuana probably makes a lot of people better parents.
You're right. You're right. Just
They're
like mommy wine.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like that. There's a comedian has a bit about him being like the stoner uncle at his family functions, and he's like, everybody thinks that's like the creepy thing, but I'm the only one there that cares about your kid's story. I'm fascinated.
Oh man. You know, so many crappy movies could be made into amazing musicals.
Yeah.
Yeah. Damn cowbell. Damn baby. And they're like, come on, Jimmy, suck it down for Sally. Take a toast to the tea stick.
Suck it down for Sally.
Yeah, that's the other thing is every time they smoke, they have some elaborate fantasy like they're literally in another plane of existence.
Right.
Like all of a sudden the guy's surrounded by, sexy Polynesian dancers in grass skirts. And like as the scene progresses, they have fewer and fewer clothes on. And then they strip him naked to a weird nude underpant thing with a little fig leaf
Sort of like
above the package, really.
Yeah, it's sort of like what you would put on Adam and Eve in a play,
Oh, God, yes.
Instead of a leaf, it's a pot.
When these two start out, she is supposed to study for a test, and she calls it Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah. The Romeo and Juliet scenes in both the real and the musical are so ridiculous, and the musical didn't steer that far from the original. Reading Shakespeare to each other and being all doe-eyed.
Yeah.
And you're like, ugh.
No, nobody does that. They hate reading Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah.
I mean, Romeo and Juliet.
They never get to the real ending to know that it doesn't end well.
No, and as she's dying from the gunshot wound, she's like, did you get to the end? Was it happy? Did they get married? And he's like, yeah, and they had 6 babies.
Yep.
Oh, good. At least she dies happy. And the cuteness, sorry, she's dying. I'm sorry. But the cuteness of where he gets his class ring and puts it on her finger. That's so sweet.
Yeah.
But then the drug dealer rips it off, but he can't get it off, so he puts her finger in his mouth.
Yeah.
Kind of lubricates it a little.
Ugh.
Marijuana's not ecstasy.
No, it's not speed.
It's not heroin.
It's not even as bad as alcohol, I would say.
No, it's not violence inducing.
No.
No matter what strain, and yes, there are strains, it's not going to make you violent or even whatever laughing violently means.
Yeah. Well, that I've had happen. Uncontrollable.
Yeah, but
laughter.
Violently.
It's fun, though. What's
Yeah.
better than laughing?
Nothing.
Except when I can't stop. Sometimes I really
I love getting
can't
the
stop.
giggles.
That's something that I do no matter what, but it's definitely heightened. But sometimes I'll just get on a
Things
tangent.
are
and I
funnier.
can't.
But you can be not high and still get the giggles.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Like, hanging out with your friends and like you get that tears streaming down your face laughter. That's the best.
It's the best.
Listen to Jesus, Jimmy. Take a hit of God instead.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh my God. When he gives him the brownie
Yeah.
and he turns into a cartoon and then he has sex with the brownie?
Yeah.
What is happening?
Wait,
How does that work?
that's what happens when you smoke marijuana. When you eat marijuana,
a brownie
it gets worse.
grows legs and looks like a hot lady. Hot brown lady. When he comes to tell Kristen Bell that he loves her more than weed. Oh, and her name was Mary
Lane.
Now, Mary Jane. So he has to decide between Jane and Lane. Like Romeo, he throws something on her window and she comes out and she's like, it's the middle of the night. It's 9 p.m.
Yeah.
What are you doing here? I mean, nobody could be more of a goody-goody than that.
I would also say that, but that's just because I like to sleep.
They also had a lot of 420s in there. Did you notice?
I didn't.
In the church, you know how they slide in the numbers of the hymns? All of them were 420. So they're just going to sing the same song 4 times. And I also wrote Munchies versus cannibalism. Because the guy tears that woman apart. Her head rolls down the stairs. And then the guy goes, hey, that's a Persian rug.
Yeah.
And so he takes her hair and he drags that severed neck across the carpet a few times. Guy comes downstairs chewing on an arm. Well, come on, guys. What a freak show.
Yeah.
I can imagine that would it have terrified parents?
Yeah, absolutely.
They're so naive. And when they took Jimmy away, blaming him for the murder of Mary Lane, the cops took him away, but they left her laying on the floor.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Come on. I don't feel so good, Jimmy. Oh, she became a hot hay hussy. And then I also wrote, when the bambalachas gotcha, you won't hear the word no. So, raping, pillaging, criminal activity. That's what happens when you smoke the devil's lettuce.
Yeah, don't do drugs, kids.
Don't do drugs.
Because save them for me.
Yeah, exactly. Me too. Did we do it?
I think we did it.
We flicked some beans.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Bye.